Okay, so setup wise, I mean your feet, if we're honest, to be fair, a little bit wide in that position. Okay, it doesn't matter, but it's a little bit wider. That's obviously a better position in terms of your feet width. However, if we look at where you're setting up there now, your shoulders are certainly more level as opposed to that one. Okay, and the weight seems to be more on the left side. Now the two lines we've got there, the red line, the green line there, these two swings. If we look at where we set up here now, the shaft on this one is behind that red line. As you come in to make contact, as you're coming down to impact, you see your hands going forward and they're on that red line, so you push your hands forward, which creates a steeper angle into the golf ball striking down, and if you're not careful when you're coming down that way, hits the ground behind the ball and the ball's not going to be fast. It's a big thump of the mat, as you said. Okay,
right. Yes.
So what we're trying to do now on this case, if we look at this one, okay, as we swing back the camera, there we go. So if you come back into impact, that one frame, there you go. The shaft now is sort of maintained its similar sort of position it did at address. You've got a much more neutral position there with your hands. Your hands are sort of more underneath.
Right. The whole
underneath, everything's down there rather than sort of.
Wrist,
yeah.
hand.
Yeah. A nice sort of straight line. Exactly. There you've got a bit of a sort of zigzag there. So your arm is sort of out there and that way, whereas this one now is all more in a straight line from that shoulder. Okay. And it's just utilising the full loft of the golf ball. If we clear all these now, just look at the angle those two golf balls are coming off at. That's coming off at that angle. That's coming off at that angle. So we zoom out there now. He's going to be going higher because you had a lofted club and you were utilising the full loft of that club. If you push your hands forward, you de-loft the golf club. So the ball will just come out low and the angle. Yeah, so if you push this, if this is 60 degrees, was it? Yeah?
60, yes.
Yeah. So if we start with 60 and I push the handle forward, you've now got less loft. So we de-loft that golf club, okay? Now, if you want to play a lower lofted shot or a low lofted club or a low flight, take a low lofted club to do that. Don't take a lofted club and then try and push it forward, because you're then using a club in an incorrect fashion for what it's designed for. This is designed to go high. The 52 is designed to go pretty high, and the wedge the same. If you want a high shot, you choose a high shot club. If you want a low shot, you choose a low lofted club. But it's the same technique, same method. So it's one method to practice and get good at, and then you just changing the club for the type of shot you want. But all cases you want to allow that club. If we look as you go through here now, how it all stays a bit too sort of locked there and a bit mechanical. This one here now, we're able to sort of release the club through. Looked a lot more sort of smoother movement here now as the club sort of releases through. Nice sort of free flowing motion there, whereas this to me looks a bit. It looks a little bit awkward in that left shoulder, so it doesn't really sort of, it doesn't look comfortable. All looks very mechanical with the arm locking out there. This here now is just a lot more of a free flow, and that's a hinge of the wrists on the way back, as we see here. Okay, so a nice hinge of the wrist as we swing through to there, the left arm or the right arm there. We're hinging the wrists up. This looks all a bit sort of stiff and mechanical. And when you're trying to judge distance, as you are with these sort of 40, 50 yard shots, we don't want to be locking up tight and too stiff in the body, because then we're unable to make that sort of free flow motion. So exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we call it a release of the club. It's basically a wrist and a hinge or an unhinge of the wrist. Okay. So as you swing the golf club, the swing in a nutshell there, Kim, is if I swing back, there's the wrist hinge there as I unhinge to the golf ball. If I hinge my wrists there and don't unhinge them, there's my through swing. So it's from hinge to unhinge there. What you were doing was kind of that way, almost that pushing forward just causes that club to dig. It just gets a bit too steep into the ground and then just digs into the ground so much. So, make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. Good.